All right, so now that we have our fixture roughly aimed and locked into its position, aimed at our object, I want to go ahead and talk specifically about an ellipsoidal or ellipsoidal reflector spotlight, or an ERS, and how those fixtures are focused. It's probably the more complex of the fixtures to focus, and so we'll go ahead and deal with that first. ERSs, or ellipsoidals, have shutters, and we can use shutters then to help define the shape or create the shape of the image of light that we're projecting. And so I want to talk a little bit about shutters and how we focus. So after we have our fixture all locked down, the next thing we want to do is set the fixture to what is known as sharp to shutter, right? So ERSs can go soft or fuzzy or very sharp. And what we want to do is set it to the sharpest that we can set it, so that we can see what is going on with the shutters. And that term is known as sharp to shutter. So the shutters are the four handles that are around the outside of the fixture, right? They're here, top and bottom. They're about midway in the fixture. And to set a fixture to sharp to shutter, the thing you want to do is just go ahead and push any shutter in. It doesn't matter which one. And then what we're going to do is we slide the lens tube back and forth until we get a very crisp shutter image, right? Until that line that shutter is made is very sharp. To slide the lens tube in and out, you want to go ahead and just loosen this knob, just, I don't know, a turn or maybe two, and then grab the front of the lens tube, and it just slides in and out of this barrel assembly. And then that's what controls the focus of the fixture, right? So some of the lights that we have are Source 4 Juniors or Zooms, right? And these zoom lights, you can adjust both the size and the sharpness of the image, right? So our zooms will go from a 26 degree, which we learned is small, 36 degree medium, and a 50 degree, which is big, right? And so these are the different zoom angles that are available. On a Source 4 Junior, the front knob controls the size, right, or the zoom of the fixture, and the back knob then controls how sharp or soft it is. If you change the zoom size, you will have to go back and adjust how sharp or soft it is. These two handles work together. All you need to do is to, again, loosen this screw or this knob, I don't know, maybe one turn. You don't need to take it out. And then these knobs then slide back and forth through this track, and that's what adjusts the lens. Simply twisting the knob does not adjust the lens, right? So that's how Source 4 Junior works. Right, so now once we have sharp to shutter, we can see what all of our shutters are going to do. And it's important to realize that an ERS flips and inverts the image. So with no shutters in, we make a circle. If I push in the left shutter, it will create a shutter line and the light on the stage on the right side. They are inverted from one another. The same thing as the right shutter makes a cut on the left side. The bottom shutter is going to make a top shutter line or a cut, and the top shutter is going to make a bottom cut. So it's important to realize that they're inverted and flipped. So top is bottom, bottom is top, left is right, right is left, as you're behind the light. Now, shutters can work together to make shapes. They work independently of one another. So by pushing in the left and the right shutters, I can make a narrow path of light, right? Or conversely, by the top and the bottom shutter, I can go ahead and make it a wide, squat image. By pushing in all shutters, I can create squares. Now, shutters don't have to work in perfectly straight lines. You can adjust the shutter by sliding it, right? They slide in their track, and you can angle how they go in. And so by angling this shutter down, it actually creates an angled shutter cut on the stage. You can do that with multiple shutters to make unusual or specialized angles in order to control the beam of light. And by using all of the shutters together at different angles, right, you can make all kinds of irregular shapes. Um, the shutters work independently of one another. At their extremes, they may conflict with one another, but for the most part, you can come up with most shapes that you need to with using the shutters as they exist. And that's if all the shutters are all the way in, no light will come out of the front of the light. So that's why it's important that when we hang the light, that all of the shutters are pulled open and that we can see the light coming out the front. So we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit more.